Hello and welcome to your Mining Disrupt news surge for Monday, the 20th of October. We're just about 10, 11 days out from Halloween. Woo, spooky time. But way more important than Halloween, you know what's coming up in about 3 weeks from this? Just shy of 4 weeks, less than a month? The Mining Disrupt Expo number 2 happening. That's right. It's going to be a big one. I've been talking about this, and I'm going to be sharing something that sounds really, I wish I had more to share, but as it stands right now, look, just hold your horses. Get your tickets now. Just trust me on this one. Get your tickets, scan that QR code, subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with all of this kind of stuff that I'm talking about week after week. This is going to be a big one. And before I continue, I got to tell you 2 things. You know what one of them is. That one is, this is not where you come for financial advice. This is where you come for entertainment and education. But the other one is a bit of a warning. Today I'm going to get a little bit heated because, let's just get into the numbers. Right now, I recorded this on Saturday because I wanted to see if the price would do anything funky. It hasn't really. The price is $106,819. Nothing really interesting aside from it being down about 20 grand from where it was a couple weeks ago. On-chain fees are still super low. I've been saying this for the last 6 months or so. The unconfirmed transactions are right around 80,000 and hash rate is still over 1,000 exahash. Okay. Obviously, Bitcoin is doing Bitcoin things, and we need to go over something that is, well, a lot of people, when I talk to them about Bitcoin, they go, well, that's cool and all, but which one do I get? They think of Bitcoin like Kleenex. It's like, well, no, Kleenex is a brand. I hope you knew that. Kleenex is a brand. Kleenex is not a catch-all term for tissue, even though people use it that way. Do you see where I'm going here? So on that note, we need to go over this tweet right here. Now, the timing on this is a little bit off because he says, if you still don't understand how catastrophic yesterday was, and this is referring to Friday of the previous week when things just went blah, and Bitcoin went all the way down to I've heard some people saying around 100,000. I never saw it that low, and no chart I've looked at shows it that low. But hey, if you were able to get some at that low, hey, more power to you. Let's just go over this real quick. He says, let me spell it out. While Bitcoin dropped 10% like a normal Tuesday correction, Bitcoin doing Bitcoin things, the entire altcoin market got sent to the shadow realm. Here's what blue chip really means. Atom, 99.7% annihilated. Sui, whatever that is, 83%, apt down, Sisi, whatever, Link. I haven't even heard of any of these. Ada, maybe I've heard of that one. 62%. These aren't just poo coins. These are the top 100 institutional grade products that VCs, YouTubers, and CT influencers told you were safe. And 80% got nuked in minutes. And he rounds this out with, well, you know the story, right? Stay humble, stack sats, you just lock yourself in with the king, and the rest will just do what it does. Now, this next tweet is going to tie directly into that thing that I'm going to get a little heated about, all right? It frustrates me to even think about what I'm going to be talking about, but I'm going to get to it, and we'll get to it. This is from Sahil. He's saying, the deeper you go into the semiconductor supply chain, the less believable it becomes. Now, I'm just going to try and run through this. TSMC, a company on a small island, produces over 90% of the world's most advanced chips. TSMC relies on a Dutch company, ASML, for EUV lithography machines. ASML depends on German company Carl Zeiss, the only firm in the world capable of making mirrors precise enough for ASML's requirements. The light source for ASML's EUV machines is produced by a single company in San Diego. The photoresists used to print transistor patterns are produced by Japanese firms like JSR and Tokyo Oka Kogyo. The ultra-pure quartz needed to make silicon wafers comes entirely from a single mine in Spruce Pine, North Carolina. The copper and rare earth minerals inside chips are mined and refined across Chile, the Congo, and China. The specialized gases used in chip making, like neon and fluorine, come largely from Ukraine and Japan. The design blueprints for these chips often come from American companies like NVIDIA, AMD, and Apple, which rely on software tools from US firms like Synopsys and Cadence. Remove any single piece and the whole system collapses. There are so many pieces to this crazy Lego Duplo card, house of cards, Jenga tower thing that we've got built up here that we call the functioning world, that, as he said there, you take out one piece and it all goes. You can't do that. And this, again, it ties into what I'm getting there. It's coming up. I'm going to play a clip here from something that Jack Mallers talked about in a show that he released on the 13th. And I'm not going to play the whole thing because what he goes over here is really important, but I want to highlight something that is extremely important.
According to analyst estimates, and this is an objective analysis, a conversion of global reserves will begin just because there is no room for them with such shortages. They will be converted from weakening currencies into real resources like food, energy commodities, and other raw materials.
The biggest thing that stood out to me right there is when he talks about that in the second sentence right there. They will be converted from weakening currencies into real resources like food, okay, sure, energy commodities, and other raw materials. You often don't think of energy as a raw material, but if you don't think it's all that important coming from me or Jack Mallers, all right, but here is maybe one of the most influential people in the entire world talking about it. No, not Putin. He's pretty influential, but I'm talking about way more influential than Putin. Zero Hedge here is saying the money's not the problem. AI is the new global arms race. If you want to know the gold, silver, Bitcoin, and soaring, why it is, it's the debasement to fund the AI arms race. But you can't print energy. Elon Musk, fairly influential guy, saying true, that is why Bitcoin is based on energy. You can issue fake fiat currency and why every government in history has done so, but it is impossible to fake energy. Now, how is energy a commodity? Because you can use energy for all kinds of things. And this brings me to that thing that I was pretty dang heated about. It angers me. It angers me. But we're not there yet. We're super close. We're super close. This ties directly into it. The U.S. Army on Tuesday unveiled the Janus program, a more than 6-year effort by the Army and the Pentagon's Defense Innovation Unit with the goal of developing and constructing hundreds of state-of-the-art small nuclear reactors to power military bases across the United States, according to the Wall Street Journal. Now, if you're somebody that's saying, well, that's great for military bases, but what does that matter? What if that's military? How does that matter for me? Well, here's some things that used to be military that you might have heard about. Here's some stuff. The internet. The internet used to be military. GPS, which is in every phone now. Siri and voice recognition. That used to be a military thing. Modern computing, networking concepts, DARPA-funded projects. Autonomous driverless car technology. Drones, microwave ovens, duct tape, jet engines, digital photography, EpiPen, it's so many things that started out as a military application and that got applied to everything else. It has become ubiquitous with our daily lives, basically every single one of those things on that list. Why would the source of energy, which is one of the most important things in the world right now, be left off that list? All of those things, every single one of those things needs energy. And that ties directly into that thing I hinted at the beginning that you don't want to miss. This is one of the best reasons to get that ticket right here. Just get that. Trust me, what I'm about to say here is a big deal. You will be able to, if you're there, if you make it, if you get yourself to the Mining Disrupt Expo, you will have a chance to be on this restricted access bus tour, a miner factory experience. Now, like I said, I don't have a whole lot that I can tell you. This is one of those things where it's kind of you got to show up to be a part of it. But it is one of those things that once you do it, you go, oh, wow, yeah, that was worth it. This ties directly into what I was just talking about. Energy, Bitcoin, mining, Bitcoin and energy, I mean, they go hand in hand. They are one and the same. Bitcoin is just a alchemical version of energy transformed into a commodity that we can trade and spend and use around in a different form. That's all it is. Now, at about the 50-minute mark in the Jack Mallers podcast, he goes over this long post from Luke Groman, who is a macro economist. He goes over things. And the thing that really stood out to me right here is talking about how there's this shift away that we've been debasing the dollar. We've been offshoring the US dollar. We've been getting goods in for our money. And what stood out to me about this, when I see stories about those nuclear reactors, when I see things like this is from George. He says, breaking, Home Depot has started giving out free training to Americans who want to work in HVAC, carpentry, electricity, and construction. The classes are self-paced and students can earn certificates they can use on their resumes. This is awesome. Now, there's some people that are down in the comments like, oh, it's not real. It's not this. It's something. It is something, all right? It is helping people go from, I don't know how to do anything to, oh, I know my way around some tools. And look, I understand that Home Depot gets a bad rap. Where is anybody? I'm trying to find somebody. How is there any going to be buddy there even to teach the class? I can't find somebody to show me where the duct tape is, let alone do any of this stuff. Look, I get that. But assuming this is even halfway decent, it'll help people learn about how to do repairs around their home. I work in that field. That is what I do for my day job. I work in the hardware business, and I have day after every day, every single day that I work, a sizable percentage of the people that I'm interacting with have no idea the most basic fundamental things. They don't know the difference between a screw and a nail. They don't know why you would want to use a hammer as opposed to a screwdriver. I wish I was kidding. I wish I was kidding. I'm not. They don't know what drywall is. They don't know what a piece of plywood is. I could go on and on and on. And if this helps that, then that's a really good thing. And this is the part where I said I was going to get heated. You do not short the American worker. What I mean by that is you don't go, oh, I think it'll be in our nation's best interest to continually offshore jobs and effectively short the American worker. I think that'll be a good long-term strategy. I think that'll work out for us 10, 20, 30, 50 years down the road. No, it won't. No, it won't. Because this nation was founded on people that said, nah, we're not doing that. We're going our own way. And you could say that that is the case with the vast, vast majority of people that live here. Whether they came here and you could trace your ancestry all the way back to the Mayflower, or you came here into the 300 years, 400 years since. People came here because they said, nah, I'm not doing it that way. I want to try something different. I understand there's exceptions. There's always an exception to the rule, but that is most people. Even though I work with people that don't really understand how these things work, they want to know. They come in and they go, hey, can you show me how to do this? And so if Home Depot is helping fill that, then this is a really good thing. This points to jobs coming back to America. This points to people wanting to work with their hands. This all seems really, really good to me. People getting back to their roots of, hey, how can I fix this? How can I repair it? I think I can. I'm not sure. But like the little engine that could, I think I can. I thought I could. Yeah, you can. You just need a little help in doing that. And if Home Depot is helping offer a little bit of help, then Godspeed to him. If you're wondering what in the world is Dell talking about and how in the world does this have anything to do with Bitcoin, well, I mean, it's as plain as day. People that have real jobs, working with real hands, working with real tools, want real money. And fiat money that the government can print out of thin air is not real money, ladies and gentlemen. It's not. But Bitcoin, which, I mean, it's perfectly analogous. You go and spend your time and energy to do something, to work on something, and then you get Bitcoin, which is earned through spending time and energy. That's the only way to get it. You do time and energy for stuff, Bitcoin is time and energy from stuff. Ta-da! Perfect match. And this, bringing it all back home, is why you've got to get yourself to the Mining Disrupt Expo #2. Like, subscribe, yes, absolutely, all that. Tune in week after week to hear what I have to say. Be entertained, absolutely. But you've got to get yourself to the Mining Disrupt Expo. When I was there in Fort Lauderdale, it was an absolute blast. And if there's going to be things like this tour happening, as Luke Groman said in that post, we are going so much higher. And, you know, sometimes if your faith in what is happening is shaken, you need a little bit of a reset. And, well, that's easy to do when you're talking to the people that are on the ground floor of Bitcoin. I'll see you in Dallas in a couple 3 weeks, and I'll see you right here next week.